What's good, everybody? I'm back at it again with another Metaphor ReFantazio video, and today I want to teach you everything you want to do in your first couple of days before you defeat the Cathedral in this game. It's going to be trying to push the progression of time agenda on you really hard, but ignore that. As a matter of fact, you actually want to go get this warrior weapon right here, the Dragon's Judgment. When you get it, though, it's not going to be that. It's going to be the Dragon's Indignation or something like that. However, there's going to be a mine in the beginning of the game with a dragon in it. The game tries to pretend like you can't beat this dragon, but you can. I got a full-blown guide on how to tear down this dragon right here, so if you haven't already done so, go ahead and take a look at that in the description below. But once you have the ice chunks as well as the mage to go ahead and tear that dragon up, you'll be able to make your way through the funeral extremely easy with a very, very powerful warrior weapon. Now, when you exit out of the honeybee for the first time, you're going to get the calendar. It's going to tell you how many days you have left until you need to stop the day of calamity, but ignore all of that. Right after you exit outside of the honeybee for the first time, you're going to see this guy right here, the Mustari Man. The Mustari Man is going to tell you a story about his daughter. She is extremely ill and he needs some medicine, but the only place he can receive this medicine is going to be from the church. Now, if you want to be able to receive medicine from the church, you're going to have to do a little bit of extra work, which is raise your wisdom. There's two ways to raise the wisdom in the daytime and at nighttime in this game, in the early game. So what you actually want to do is there's going to be this section right here on the map. Right here is going to be a bench. Down here is going to be a quest. So we're going to first go down to the quest giver because we're going to grab the quest and then we're going to progress time. So right over here is going to be your quest giver. You're going to talk to this guy. He's trying to work for one of the local inns and he wants to be a cook. He needs to learn a couple of secrets and he's going to ask you to learn some secrets from Fabian herself. At which point that starts your brand new quest. You got to go to the Hush Honeybee and learn some stuff. Before you do that though, go ahead and sit down on this bench. Watch the people of this entire nation so that you can learn about them. This is going to instantly raise your wisdom. So that's going to raise it up a little bit. Then it's going to turn into nighttime. Go ahead and talk to Fabian and tell her that you want to help her out. You don't have to make the special dish. All you have to do is just do the regular option just above that. You're going to start cooking with Gallica. Now, if you want to go ahead and make this process the best it can possibly be, then you want to go ahead and grate it in and simmer. Is one of the best options for this entire setup right here. You'll see what happens after you finish the quest. But once you finish cooking and you've basically been complimented by Fabian, you'll be good to go. At which point, you'll then raise your wisdom up to the perfect amount. Now that you're no longer naive and you're informed, you can go back over to the cathedral and you're able to buy items from them, as well as you can finally purify your weapon that you received in the beginning of the game. So go ahead and upgrade your Dragon's Indignation to the Dragon's Judgment. It's going to cost you 1,600, but it's definitely worth it. This is one of the most powerful weapons that you can get in the early game. So let's go ahead and get it done. Once you purify it, you're going to get this Blessed Power Trophy, and it's time for us to do a little bit of finesse. Okay then, finally, now that you have a little bit of wisdom, you've helped out Fabian, and you've done a little bit of the opening quest of the game, we're going to go ahead and head inside of the cathedral for the first time. This is going to be the first of many because you actually want to go in here so we can grab another archetype. If you haven't already, just before you head inside, head over to More at Academia and grab the healer quest from him. Now that you have those in tow, we're going to head inside and you're going to find Catherina. Catherina is going to be the pink-haired, very beautiful person that is going to be a friend or a companion later on in the game. But for now, she just wants a little bit of help. She's not going to act like it, but she needs it. She's beat up pretty bad and you're going to go inside and find her friend. Once you find her friend, or basically you find the key that is laying on a table next to a sleeping guard, you're going to take that key up to the floor above and then you're going to unlock it. At which point you're going to get a bunch of cutscenes. Catherina is going to find her friend and some things are going to go down. Once all of the dust has settled, you're going to hear more of Catherina's story and what she's about, and she will explain to you how she's a bounty hunter. At which point you will then come in agreement, you'll become friends with her, and she will unlock the Brawler archetype for you. So congratulations, now we have the Brawler archetype. at which point you then want to continue to progress the rest of this dungeon for a little while longer. You want to make it all the way up to the next floor. You're going to see a Magla Hollow on this floor, and there's also going to be these crystals that pop out a bunch of skeletons. We're going to use this to farm up a bunch of levels if you need to, or farm up a little bit of mag so that you can get your healer to at least level 10. At which point, now that your healer is level 10, we're going to get the hell out of here and we'll come back to the cathedral at a later date. So go ahead, head back over to Academia, talk to Moore so that you can turn in his quest and progress his companion friendship line, as well as check out the healer and the brawler archetype. Now, just a quick tip if you didn't already know, the mage is probably one of the most OP archetypes in the game because it has the passive ability that it's going to be able to get back MP every time it stuns or kills an enemy in the open world. So when you're out here fighting in the overworld and just slapping up the enemies with your staff magic, you're going to be getting back MP every single time, which is pretty amazing. That means you'll never run out of MP. You can heal your characters and then continue on your onslaught to basically power charge or power level anything that you need to in the early game. Now, this isn't a strat that's very lucrative because you won't get that many experience points from this, but it is going to be a great help if you're trying to grind out the levels for your healer class. Once you have enough levels and you're able to turn that in, let's go ahead and head back over to Moore in Academia so we can turn in our friendship quest with him. So now that you're speaking to Moore, there's something that I want you to know about companions. When you're having conversations with companions in the world, it's a great idea to try to be as, I guess you would say, nice to them as humanly possible, because the more friendly you are in conversation with them, the more mag you may receive. Every time you interact with them in a good way, you will receive a little bit of mag, and this is the only bit of mag that you can get outside of battle, which is very valuable. So I suggest that you kind of take your time and try to figure out the best decision or the best things to say to certain companions so that you can kind of get that mag super easily. Every time you do something appropriate, you'll see a little triangle float straight to you. Your eyes will glow a little bit orange, and you'll know that you received mag through the interaction. Now, the reason why we wanted to go ahead and unlock the healer class and get more to level 2 is because we wanted to unlock the Scion skill, and we needed Moore's magic igniter. With this, you're going to be able to use the archetype chart outside of Academia, which is extremely clutch, meaning you could go ahead and upgrade, change, and do whatever you need to do without coming back to Academia every single time. This is probably one of the greatest features, and it's extremely exciting that they actually decided to do this with the game. I was nervous at first, didn't think it was in here, so it's just good to know that you can just jump into your menu and change your stuff up at any time. But in order to progress story quests or stuff like that, you will have to go back to Academia and talk to Moore himself, which makes sense. Moving on from there, now that you have an extremely powerful weapon in the warrior class and you have a little bit of wisdom, you've helped out a couple of your companions, you're pretty much good to go. There's going to be a couple of more things you can possibly think about doing just before heading on. For example, there's going to be a lady standing outside of the igniter shop in the city. She's going to be right over here where you had the bench where you get your wisdom from. You can talk to her and you can go ahead and start up a quest line with her if you have enough wisdom, which we do. Now, the problem with this quest is it's going to be very difficult if you're a low level. I kind of suggested you do this after you defeat the cathedral. You want to save yourself at least 3 to 4 days to beat the cathedral, just in case something goes wrong or you can't get it done in time, because if you don't make it in time, you're going to get yourself a game over. But if you have a couple of days after the cathedral, you'll definitely want to come over here, talk to her, and do her quest as well. You want to get this quest done as well as another quest done over in the recruitment center, which is going to be a bounty quest. You want to get these done before you move the storyline and progress further, because it's going to be a while before you come back to the city. All right, so there's a couple of more things I'm going to go ahead and point out to you, which is Idlesday. Idlesday is a special day of the week because you can get some special discounts and bargain sales at all the different shops. When the shops turn red, that means it's a discount bargain sale day. So you should go in there and try to buy the more expensive items for a very cheap and affordable price. Not too affordable though, it's going to cost you at least 40k for certain items, but it may be worth it in the long run. With that being said, Idlesday is going to be your favorite day to try to go shopping in this game, and don't forget that there is a secret shop at nighttime that is a magic shop. You can go over there and get some really good items that you're definitely going to need if you don't have a mage in your party. Here, you'll be able to go into the magic shop and grab items like the ice chunks and stuff like that, so that you'll be able to do elemental damage to any enemy out in the game. They also have other items and things that you can wear to make you even more powerful, so it's a great idea to come over here if you have a free night to give. And that's going to be absolutely everything you want to try to get done and knock out before you take down the Cathedral in Metaphor ReFantazio. If you like what I do on the channel, make sure you smash that like button and sub to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and absolutely everything else with this game. This is your boy Emma M since HD, but for now though, I'm out of here.